Okay, Counselor.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I would like to welcome everyone to the Township of Nipissing Recreation Committee on March the 7th. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Do we have any declaration of pecuniary interest? Okay, hearing none. I would like to move on. Who would like to accept the agenda?
I will.
And a seconder?
I will.
Okay,
Sorry, we're gonna have to say some names. We're not sure who's speaking.
okay, say some names. Say your last names even.
Ron Phillips will be the first or the seconder.
And the second person?
Chris Johnston.
Kathy John? Nope.
Okay, I heard Chris, okay. I'd like to accept the previous minutes. Did we have the previous minutes mailed to us?
Yes, they were. They
Yeah,
were
Okay,
emailed.
I must have misplaced mine. Would somebody like to accept the previous minutes? Say your name.
Ron
Kathy
moves.
Shaw? Nope.
Okay, I heard Ron and Kathy.
I'll first or second, whatever it was.
Okay, we're going to move on to business items from our previous meeting. And we're
Sorry,
going to start.
Sorry, Liz, is everybody in favor?
Oh, yes. Is everyone in favor?
Aye.
Liz,
Chris.
Ron.
Kathy?
Steph.
Shelley?
Sean.
You got everybody, Liz.
okay. So we're going to move on to business items from previous meeting. Family fun skate review. Would anybody like to start? Somebody that was there, how it went, how many people we had?
Start for you. I don't know how many people we had to really get a count. It was a lot.
Okay.
And people had a great time. The hot chocolate went over great. We went through almost everything we did this except for half a container, which was fantastic. But the one comment that did come up a little bit is they felt it was too late. They would have liked to see it earlier. And that's one of the main things we've heard.
I'm sorry, what was that, Shelley?
They would like to see it, have seen it earlier.
Start earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We should take note of that for next year. I heard nothing but great things about the whole evening, so. Anybody else have any comments?
It was great. Like Shelley had said, the turnout was great. There were lots of kids come out that I haven't seen at other events before. So that was great. Fireworks went off really well. By the time it was for fireworks, the whole area was packed all around with vehicles and other people standing at the rink enjoying skating and that. The fire pits were great. Everybody was standing around warming up. It was a little chilly that night once it got down later on. So it went, no, it went really well.
Good. Anybody else? Okay, not hearing anything. Let's move on to paint afternoon. So that has been changed to March the 26th. Will, how many people do we have enrolled for that class?
I'm gonna pass that over to Sean.
Okay, Sean?
As of right now, she has 4 tickets sold. And so we've done the advertising with the municipal Facebook page as well as the artist has it advertised on her own page that's happening. So that's where we stand so far.
Did you say 4?
Yes,
Oh, and what's the minimum she requires?
8.
Okay. Well, we still have some time. I would be one of those 4, so. Okay, well, I guess we'll play that by ear. Now, should we have enough, and I hope we do for March the 26th, Who from the committee will be there? Somebody will have to open and close.
I can do that.
You can do that, Sean? Okay. You've got a key to get in?
Yeah, I'll get one.
Okay, very good. Anybody else anything else to say on that?
Do we have a drop date of when we're going to cancel it if we have to be forced into that situation?
Good question.
I haven't been given one, like she never said a set date. So I would guess, I'll have to email to double check, but I would assume that even like the days, couple days leading up to it kind of thing.
I'm just thinking for fairness to the people that are planning to attend, just to give them enough notice.
I would
Well-
think if we're offering it on the 26th, I would think that if we don't have enough by the 20th, we should cancel. I don't know. How does that sound to everybody else?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Or even the 21st, that someone in the town office is able to do it.
Sorry,
Does the 21st fall on a Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we do that then? Sean, why don't you find out how many are enrolled by the 21st? And if we don't have enough, we'll have to cancel with her.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Okay. So Sean, you will be there to open and close should we have it, and we will find out by the 21st if we have the minimum amount required, and if not, we will cancel on the 21st. Okay, next item on the agenda is the Easter egg hunt on April the 16th. Are we planning for that tonight? Are we doing the plans tonight? Has it started, or what's happening there?
I haven't a clue. I'm just kind of waiting for someone to put me to work.
Okay,
Steph,
who's doing the shopping for this?
I don't know.
Okay, so I will help. It's between Steph and I, we met, was it 2 weeks ago approximately now? And we were working on it. So I believe we reached out to South Shore, and South Shore is working on some of the candy for the kit for us. They can source it through their delivery that they get their supplies from. Who was Stephanie? Steph, were you working on the bags, or somebody was working on paper bags for us?
I think Shelley was gonna possibly look into the prices for Vaughn. I mean, I can also, not you, Shelley, sorry. I can look into Vaughn as well, or I don't know if the township has better pricing through Vaughn. I'm not sure how that works, but I did contact Tiffany. So it's a little pack of mini Cadbury eggs, and it's 42 and change for 48 packs. So just under $1 per pack for the mini eggs. I was going to also possibly see if anybody was interested in getting a price for cookies, like a cute little like Easter bunny cookie or something like that, to try and stay with the local theme. And yeah, I looked at basket cost too. All the Easter baskets are just so expensive. It's crazy.
Yeah, another option, Steph, would be the dollar store usually has nice little Easter bags at this time of the year. And I don't think we get a special rate from Vaughn Paper. I could be wrong, but I don't believe we do. And when we've ordered them through the museum, we've had to order hundreds at a time. That's just the way they come in. So.
Right. Okay.
And Dollar Tree is cheaper than Dollarama?
Yes, that's true. That is true. It is cheaper. Yep. Do we have sign-up sheets, Will, for that?
yes, we do.
Okay, are they out now?
You just call into the township office.
Okay. Oh, that's all you do. Okay. So, I mean, I guess the shopping, how long do they have to call in? Is there a cutoff date?
So the sign up, the cutoff day we had was April 1st.
April
said-
1st is the cutoff date? Okay,
Yep, so for April 1st, we set the cutoff age at 10 years of age, and that's where we set it. So I thought we had talked about mixing the Easter baskets, and the paper bags would replace those Easter baskets. So as part of the scavenger hunt, they would be decorating their bag to take home with them. And as they went to each craft table, that's where they would collect stuff for their bag.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so your craft tables, it would be your cookie decorating table, which is why we're looking for somebody so we can pick up cookies somewhere. And we do need a volunteer for cookie decorating, and I think we might have somebody in mind for it. They will, maybe. We just have to reach out. We'll talk about it. But and we're gonna do it rain or shine, no matter what. So we're looking for bottled water and drinking boxes for children. And I am on mini stuffed animals. So a person that comes into our store, into the store is in Swansea today, looking if they can find us something. Tom gave him a budget of under $100 for every kid, so we'll see what we can do. Inside the baskets will also go the public education magnet, and we will have to purchase grass for it. So really, at the end of the day, the big cost is going to be the paper bag, the grass, and the bunnies, and that's the big stuff that's going to go in there. The rest of it, the kids are going to decorate and do themselves. Shelley has agreed to help us with the scavenger hunt clues. So that'll be fantastic.
great. So I guess when we have our meeting at the first week of April, we'll know how many children are signed up and we'll know how many to shop for. Okay.
Yep.
Anything else for that date that we need to discuss?
No.
No?
Yep.
Okay.
We're doing is somebody that's gonna die, we're gonna dive the Easter eggs before we get them to the event.
Okay.
That'll be a volunteer for that to help us dive Easter eggs.
Okay, then, if there's no more discussion on the egg hunt, we will move on to the kids' soccer. How is that going, Steph?
I think it's going well. We met about it when we met about Easter. We have lots of information kind of down. I think jerseys are kind of out of the question, though. I think we're going to go with the t-shirts. Just have it for every child. Cutoff date will be April 22nd. I think we're getting quite a bit of interest. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I know Derek said that they're up in the 40s. With kids that were registered. So I think a lot of parents are excited. Volunteer wise, I have at least 3 volunteers that will be willing to either coach a team or ref. So I think that's great too. I know there was a concern about doing a criminal reference check or something like that. If volunteers are going to need that, are they going to need some sort of training? I don't know. I think that could be up for discussion. And yeah, I think it's going well.
Good. Anybody have anything else to ask Steph or to add to that? No? Okay, then. We will move on to number 5, the playground RFP review. I guess that's you, Will.
Okay, so what I did here, hopefully it works. Share my screen. I did a little PowerPoint up with diagrams of the play set. Can everybody see this?
Yep.
All right, so we got 5 in. Unfortunately, 1 has been disqualified. So we're down to 4. So the first one is going to have a layout like this. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I got a few pictures, what they gave us, we put in here. And I can go back anytime anybody would like to. So this one here looks like it's got a couple slides. Some little twirly things, little monkey bars kind of stuff. So it kind of met the both for all our age groups from 18 months right up to 12.
Is there a freestanding spinner or riding equipment piece in there? I guess that's what that little thing, yellow
Right
thing
here in the
is.
center, the yellow thing,
Yep.
that's what they're calling, classifying as a spinny thing.
Okay.
Just gonna keep going through the pictures. Like I said, we can go back. So this is kind of their layout. We're very lucky because we don't have to worry about space because we got lots of it. Oh, sorry, we're gonna get into the pricing here. So there's the layout again.
That's perfect.
Mm.
There's lots of options there.
Well, bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a lot for our money there.
Yeah.
I mean, we look the size of it, the monkey bars. I mean, I know that was the first thing my daughter had asked, is there gonna be any monkey bars with the,
So here's kind of a breakdown. So we're pretty well getting everything like we asked about for 18 months up to 12. And all the pricing are coming around the same because this is what we have to work with. So they're right in our target group. They're doing all the prep work like they're supposed to. We do some landscaping. So everything met our RFP requests.
Good.
Any questions on that one?
No?
No?
So the next one that came in was APE. So again, they met our tender pricing. Oop, sorry. Everything's there that we want, the safety matting or the safety bottom with the drainage cloth. And so this is their diagram. And again, I put the pictures that we got included in the RFP. So this is what we received. So again, this one and the other one is all we received for the RFP for diagrams.
Oh, that's too bad. This does not show as well as the first one.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't think it's, that one looks like it's more of a one standalone unit. It doesn't look like it spreads out very well.
No, it doesn't, does it?
You know, the other one, it looked like there was a lot more pieces that you could actually separate to have a little space in between the bigger kids and smaller kids.
So if everybody's okay with it, we'll continue on and then we'll jump back to each one.
Okay,
The next one is open space. Again, you can see that they're in our criteria for pricing and everything. Their diagram.
that's the diagram. Oh, there, that's better. Okay.
Yeah, that's their blueprint diagram. Now they got some photos here.
Ah, we've got some swings on this one.
Kind of like an overview. I can go back to a couple of the other pictures if you like. Kind of like an overview of the one side. And our last one is ABC. Again, the pricing's all within the allowment. Now, sorry, these pictures are a little blurry. These are on bigger pieces of paper and I couldn't scan them. So again, then we have swings and the play set.
Is that like a play set for little ones and then another one for bigger children?
Yeah, they kind of have it split off for this, the 18 to 6, I believe it was. So it's kind of broken up into the two.
Okay,
So what we'll do is we'll go back to the beginning. If that's okay with you?
yeah,
Okay. So this is the first one. Excuse me.
No swings with that one, Will?
I believe no swings, no.
I think it's, yeah.
I like that one
that's
too.
too bad. I really like this one, but I wish it had swings.
Well, that's the other option is if we, you know, like this one looks more, you get a little bit more equipment. And then maybe if we work on something for swings later on in our 10-year site plan,
That's true.
because even the swing set that looks to be coming with the other ones doesn't look like a really large swing set.
No. Yeah, I agree.
But just this one looks like, you know, it has a lot more activity centers for more than just climbing through. And, you know, there's more physical aspects on this for children.
I just think if you're looking at kids and if you got kids at different ages, so if you're bringing different kids, different ages, and you're trying to keep them busy.
Yeah.
You can send older kids to the playground and you could take the younger ones to the swings.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So not to have swings right from the get-go, I think you'll disappoint people. Especially seeing that both sets had infant swings or younger kids swings, right?
So this will be number 2.
I think you'll disappoint.
Yeah, sure. Compared to the other ones, I really don't like this one myself personally.
No, I don't like it either.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Here's number 3.
It does look like there's one person going across there.
Yeah, it looks like there's quite a bit of that.
Yeah, there is. And that actually, that different swing set on there also looks like a handicap accessible.
Yeah, so what there is for this one, as you can see on the left, there's one for handicap. There's one for infants, I believe they call it, and then 2 regular.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm not using the correct terminology.
Only Kay, you're being broadcast online, so nobody will ever hear it.
I apologize. I'm not sure the correct terminology. We were trying to meet our disability plan as well when we put this out.
That one looks like it has a little swing underneath the one slide bit there, right at the front.
Oh, I see what you mean, a little sitting area type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of rated.
So that one has more slides.
not
Doesn't
large.
have as many monkey bars.
Yeah.
And here's number 4.
I like the fact that that one separates the age groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't feel like there's enough with this.
Yeah, it seems a lot smaller, like even in the picture,
Yeah.
you see 3 kids on it, that's full, like. The other one seemed more spread out, in my opinion.
And you don't really have the monkey bars in that one. It doesn't
No.
look like-
No.
Any more thoughts on this one?
Mostly just slides though, isn't it?
No, there's swings with this one also.
Well, yes, but it seemed to me that the open space one had swings plus a lot more variety of experience.
Yeah, monkey bars and different things to
Yeah,
climb
yeah.
on and over and whatnot.
Is this the one you were referring to? Sorry?
That's the one, the open space.
Yeah.
I really like the first one, except as Liz points out, there's no swing.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about if it comes down to it. I mean, whether they say, 'cause just like the size of the structure, just with the many pieces for older kids as well. And then kind of maybe, like I said, look at the site plan later on and add a swing set.
What is the cost between this one and then number 3?
They're all come in exact. Yeah, because we had a budget to work with, and we asked them to give us what they could for that budget.
I really like the first one. I feel that I feel like as a parent, I can't buy the type of equipment that the first one has to offer, whereas the only thing it's lacking is swings. But as a parent, I can buy swings in that sense at home. Whereas I can't buy like the skinny things or the big slides or the rock climbing wall. And I feel like maybe as a recreation committee, we can come up with some awesome fundraisers over the next couple of years to put things in. Whereas I don't know how hard it would be to put a bigger, or to put like a rock climbing wall in if we went with the third or the fourth one. Cost wise, if it would be easier to put swings in as opposed to add to the other ones that have swings, but add what the second one has that they don't have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and
Yep.
it's a good point. We can always add the swings later. This one looks like it has the most bang for our buck. And I don't have little children, so, Steph is a young mother. I can
Yeah.
relate to what she's saying.
For me, the design concept we talked about only being 40% of what the actual proposal was designed to do too, right? So
Yes.
there's things talking about the warranties, the qualifications of the individual people and references that they provided. Do we have any insight into those things that might help us shape what also we're interested in?
They're all about the same. They all had good references. The warranties were pretty well identical. It went from lifetime right down to 1 year.
Depending
What
on
does
the
number one offer for warranty?
It's lifetime down to 1 year. They were all pretty well the same. Every
Okay.
component was different. So the warranties go from lifetime to 20 to 15 to 10, 5, 2, and 1, depending on each piece of equipment. They're made in, it's Canada manufactured.
Is there any particular one that had more like 1 year warranties versus like some of the more lifetime stuff, or is it all?
They were pretty well all standard. They're all pretty well the same.
Okay.
The reference that we pulled out, the closest one to us would be City of Greater Sudbury. Was the closest reference to us for here.
Is that this company?
That's this company, yes, sorry.
I'd be willing to, if we did go with this or tentatively choose with it, I'd go to Sudbury, take a drive and look at their stuff if need be.
That would be before next Tuesday.
Sure.
Okay, well, do we want to vote?
Which unit does Sudbury have?
This is just one of their references. So they
Oh.
install their equipment in the Greater Sudbury area.
Which of these manufacturers or distributors is in Sudbury?
None of them.
Oh, I'm sorry, I asked the question the wrong way. One of these suppliers has a reference in Sudbury, am I understanding that correctly?
This one right here, number.
Oh, that one, okay, got it.
One you guys are
Thank you.
talking.
Got it, thank you. I agree with Chris, that would be worth a look and a talk.
So I think if we're going to talk about which designs we like the best, I think we should start off with which ones we like the least, and so that we can try and eliminate some as opposed to trying to have 4 different people voting for 4 different routes. And I think there was a pretty clear consensus on which one we all kind of just didn't like, which I think is that ape.
Number 2.
Yeah, the one piece.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agree.
Okay, so number 2. Okay. So this is number 1. Number 3. Number 4.
Yeah,
If it was me, I would suggest number 4 would be something also that we'd consider dumping off and not putting into the final round, just because, I don't know, maybe it's the scale of these photos. It just looks like it's smaller, tighter wound equipment.
I agree with you on that one.
And it's missing the monkey bars and stuff we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm torn between 1 and 3.
Okay, so number 4 is off.
yeah,
So this is number 3.
that's the open space, yeah.
Is
Number
it
1.
possible, Will, for you just drag a couple of these photos side by side, just so that we can have quick reference between the two and compare and contrast?
And sorry, Chris, this is on PowerPoint.
Yeah, you should be able to just drag a whole slide up. If you click and drag right where you are and slide your thumb up, go up. There you go.
Oh, can you see the stuff on the left-hand side too?
Yeah, you didn't present it. You're showing us what everything is.
Yeah, I personally put my vote to number 1. That's me.
I would vote number 1 too.
Yes, same here.
I'd be
I'm going with
inclined-
number 1 also.
Yeah, I'd be inclined number 3 just because I want to think about how many different experiences are there, right? Like with number 3, you get the swings. Are you losing that many activities by going with number 1, which I agree is the nicer overall equipment, but whether you have that many differences from number 3?
You're going to cover more age groups in number 1 just by looking at this, and then just the separation, because you have 3 to 4 separate areas that you can do this in. And then we work with putting the swings in later on, and we can do that as a fundraising event. Or, I mean, there's lots of other options that we can do to put that in.
I feel number 1 seems to be geared more towards older children.
Yeah.
There's not really anything, like the number 3 has the lower slides. This one seems like everything's up higher, like the younger kids can use the lower slides or the swings, and the old kids with monkey bars and whatever else. I'm kind of torn, but I do like number 3 with the swings, especially with the accessibility of the swing set. And the one swing is accessible for everyone at the entrance.
Because number 1, like what does number 1 give access to for any of our handicap? So we're not hitting that pocket at all.
Well, like you had mentioned with the swings, like having the infant swing,
Yeah.
if you're there with a young child and your older children, you can put your youngest one in the swing and swing along, and the rest of the kids can continue on and play.
I mean, knowing, yeah.
I just feel like number 1 seems like it's geared more to the older end of the age group.
Are we ready for a vote? Or do we want more discussion? Sounds like we're ready for a vote, so who is for number one? Say your name.
Ron, but I could live with 3 in the end.
Okay, anybody else for number one?
I am too. Sorry, Steph. I like number one, but they're both good choices and we can add to each one.
Yes, it's true. Anybody else for number one?
I go for number one. That's Andrew.
Andrew, okay. Anybody else for number one? Okay, who's going for number three?
Chris,
Oh, sorry, Kathy?
Kathy? Anybody else?
Shelley?
Sorry?
Shelley?
And Sean.
Okay. Do you get a vote, Will? No, eh?
Nope. Now, just so everybody knows, council does get the final say. This is-
I know they do.
So number 3 will be the one we'll be presenting to council on the recommendation.
haven't-
I think on a
haven't
4
voted
to,
yet.
no, I was gonna say, even on a 4-3 vote, I think we should almost present both the council and say how narrow of a vote it was, just to kind of clearly direct them towards the 2 options. So I don't think anybody's disappointed with either of the top 2 options.
No.
We can
Okay.
do that as well, if you like.
So we will forward that on to the next council meeting, which is next Tuesday.
So we're gonna do both, 1 and 3?
I think we
Yeah,
say
let's
that
go.
3 was a narrow margin over 1, but present both as strong opinions.
So you're agreeing to let council have the final vote?
Yeah, I think council has the final vote. I think we say it was a narrow margin victory that was for 3 over 1, but that both showed promise to and recreation committee would be satisfied with either option and let council
Okay,
make the best decision.
okay, we will do that. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, next on the agenda is the questionnaire review and discussion. We all received the questionnaire. We talked about it at our last meeting. Does everybody have it in front of them?
I do not, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, I will start by I will read it. I'll read each one and then we can discuss it. So in order to effectively plan and apply for funding for future projects, it's important to have a solid vision and strategic plan for the township facilities and programming. As we work towards the 2022 budget and capital forecast, we need to ensure that all necessary costs are captured. As members of this committee, you are helping us to guide the future of recreation. Please complete the following questions. So for the community center, question number 1, what changes would you like to see at the community center over the next 10 years? Anybody want to start?
It's Andrew here. I'll start off, I guess.
Okay.
I'd like to see us, I know we've talked about it a few times, but I'd like to see us get our own events page going on Facebook. Just so we can kind of keep adding and do a little more advertising that way.
Okay. Anybody else?
I like that idea, and I guess the only want I would want kind of follows that, just maybe more things happening, more events in the township, and yeah.
So what,
Okay.
sorry, Liz.
I'm going to add to that too. I would like to see the community center utilized more. And how I would like to see it utilized is in combination with the museum, that we can only keep open for 5 to 6 months out of the year because we have unheated buildings. I would like to see the township create one position that would be rec / museum manager. And in the off season of the museum, And it's usually the off season of the museum when we have most of our rec activities going on. I would like to see that position then turned into a rec position. Somebody that would have the experience to advertise, to have ideas to bring into the community, to work with the Recreation Council, to organize, to advertise, and so on and so on. So that's my long-term view of what I would like to see done.
Yeah, I think that's our biggest thing, I think, is the advertising situation. So I think if we were able to do it more live for like just getting ideas even from the public with our own page, then we can host a little bit more of bake sales and people could sign up and, just say what they would like to have that would go on. I think we'd really benefit from that.
Even for that aspect, for getting input, I think it might not be a bad idea, even come up with the simplest thing, and build a little suggestion box, and any rec event that we have it. Yeah, like if we would have had the skate night, for example, like everybody comes in skating, and what would you get, what do the taxpayers want to see recreation-wise in the community? Now that we have you here, what would you like to see next? You might get somebody might give a suggestion, or you might have an empty box, everything, but at least the options there that they could, sort of give some ideas of what would have a good turnout.
I think to add on to the marketing and all of that kind of thing, like email databases and like getting people's contact information to be able to directly reach out to them and having those kinds of marketing technologies behind it, I think would be a good benefit as well.
Any other ideas or comments?
So somebody suggested, sorry, Ms. Muir, more events. What are we talking about? More events?
Well, I mean, look what Powassan offers. They have trivia nights. They have yoga classes. They have children's play dates. I can go on and on. I mean, that community center could be utilized, and a lot of our ratepayers and residents flock to 250 Clark Street to do all of that stuff. So we have the facility here. It's just not utilized. And I don't think as a small committee like ourselves that we're in any position to, we need a rec person in there. We need somebody that would that would reach out, like you say, do a database, work with the soccer team, bring these events in there. Somebody that's good at planning and organizing and advertising and researching grants. So, that's just my idea. We can stay the way we are now, but everybody wants to bring more things in and more events. But I mean, look at the paint night, for example. We have, 4 people signed up so far? Facebook advertising is just not enough. We're missing the boat here. That's the way I look at it.
We're not, all we're advertising on Facebook for that. She's doing all the advertising.
Okay, well.
We're just providing the location.
Yeah.
I guess if that's
What kind-
what we want to do to get more events in the community center, then I think that needs to kind of be opened up so people know, because some people know that you can rent the community center, but a lot of people, like I understand 250 Clark, they have the space, they have the staff, they have the ability to have people come in all the time, but they're doing it in a building where they already have the staff members there. Like when they have yoga during the day, the office staff is there, the facility is open. It just seems easier in that aspect for that way.
Well, again, they have a rec person there that's taking care of that. Our rec person would be at the community center. That's where her office would be. So it's just an idea. I mean, I just thought I'd throw it out there.
I'm just wondering, insurance-wise, I know we spoke about it before. Would there be anything going on there that would require extra insurance?
Yes. If we offer
Liability-wise.
if we offer any kind of exercise classes, they have to carry their own insurance.
Oh, okay.
This Saturday class is an exercise facility.
Pardon?
Wouldn't the fitness center downstairs be classified as an exercise facility?
Well, it's called a fitness center, so we have, I'm sure we have liability insurance on it.
Okay, that's
But
what
when
I'm.
somebody wants to rent the community center, like for instance, we've had Zumba classes over the years, she has to carry a certain amount of insurance, and that reflects on the price that she charges.
So, sorry not to cut you off, Liz. What we need
Yeah.
is some activities and things you want to improve on and stuff, so when the grant opportunities come out, we have them documented and we're ready to go on them. So what big changes, anything you want to see over the next 10 years? Is what we're looking, we need some input in and stuff like that.
That was my input. Anybody else has any?
I have a quick question. Would the community center, township, or whoever need any licenses to do a bingo? Like, is bingo a possible? Could we have like a monthly bingo night?
No, all of the, those kind of, we used to have them, and now,
Yeah.
oh, I can't remember what it's called, but we have to have certain licensing.
Need a lottery
And-
license.
Yeah, lottery, they're not easy to get. You have to show what it's for. Even those poll tickets we used to do for the museum, we can't even do that anymore. It's very expensive. I'm not up to date on it. We could call the office and ask them.
There's a
Will, I
lot,
don't know.
pardon me?
There is a lot. Yeah, I don't know how much you know about the lottery license.
Quite a bit, because the fire department used to do it, and that was one of the reasons. we
Yeah,
had to
we
get
did
it.
too. Yeah,
So what we're looking for is, do you want more equipment upstairs here? Do we need anything big, any renovations? What would you like to see at the community center? If a grant come up tomorrow for new windows, doors, roofs, extensions,
I
well,
wonder,
the
like,
grant came up. Oh, go ahead.
like we've just obviously done the playground at the Heritage Park, etc. But I'm just wondering, like, if such a thing came up, like, would there be space at the community center to have a secondary park? Like, I think thinking along the lines of like how far it is to travel to different places, it might make sense to try and have a couple of different locations of things.
perfect.
And like, if we extend this, and Ron, feel free to cut me off if I'm really overstepping here. I know, like, the Commanda Community Center, a lot of the board members there have expressed leaving and things. Like, would the township ever consider, if the Commanda Community Center wanted to, like, giving up that facility, and whether we bring out our budgets and our things towards that, so that you kind of have a 3 wide spread kind of community center, Heritage Park.
That area would have to be a discussion at council level. We can't talk about that. That'd be a council discussion.
I mean, of course, it would be a council discussion, but that's what we're doing, right? Talking about future projects and budget and capital expenditures that could be a thought towards. I get that there's a lot of logistics and a lot of people that have to have says and things and such a thing, and it wouldn't be a quick, easy conversation, but that's just a thrown out idea.
Interesting.
Any renovations or anything anybody would like to see?
Has there been any comments from anybody that's rented the facility that have said like, hey, it'd be nice if you had something different in the kitchen or like a new bar? I know other facilities, like for renting for Stag and Do's, having a nice bar facility is an important one when you're looking.
Perfect. We can actually, we'll look into that one. That's an easy one. We can ask.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I know like people rented this place for Stag and Do's and everything, but I mean, the bar is kind of to be desired, I guess. So if there was renovations for even something as simple as that, make it easier for people to use the space.
What about like renovations, like the outside, inside, tables, chairs,
I think anything
washrooms?
that would make the building, I mean, I don't know the energy efficiency of the building, but I mean, if there's anything we can do to improve the efficiency and save money long term, like if replacing the windows will lower the heating costs or the cooling costs, then if we can eventually get a grant for it, it'd be worthwhile doing for.
Well, simple little things like you need new blinds, we need new ceiling tiles.
Yeah, flooring, I think just an overall updating would be nice in the
Their
future.
cosmetic update.
I mean, the flooring and then, yeah, like you said, the ceiling tiles are getting a little dated up above us and maybe just.
And those
yeah.
big smoke heaters are supposed to be taken out of there, are they not, Will?
Yeah, they're actually disconnected now. We're just working alongside Public Works, and when we all have a couple minutes, we'll be removing them.
Good. Well, then we're definitely gonna have to work on the tiles on the ceiling.
Yeah, there's a lot of different colors now from replacing them over the years.
I think also maybe too, some updated tables that are a little lighter, maybe to move around and less chance of them wrecking floors if we ever did do the floors again.
Perfect.
As far as the exterior, it's all metal, correct?
Yeah. We actually have it in the capital too, later on, a few years down the road, looking at both sides.
I was thinking an update, even not necessarily if the metal's in good condition, even something as simple as having it repainted or something, so everything.
Then also too, I guess, I mean,
freshened up.
if we're putting stuff out there, we may as well look at the kitchen facility as well. And maybe switching to stainless steel countertops in there that are a lot more and easier to clean and keep maintained.
That's the kind of where I was thinking with have people asked for anything in the kitchen. 'Cause I mean, I don't know what you need the kitchen to have in the best, but
Yeah.
if there's something we should be having, like, I don't know if people want a warmer in there or something like appliances, or if just a very basic kitchen is all we need. What would make it a more rentable space?
That's an updating.
Sorry, Counselor.
Okay, anything more on the community center? If not, we will move on to the fitness center. So a new keyless entry system has been identified for replacement as soon as possible to interact with the office software and provide easier access to member reports and changes. So number one, what changes would you like to see at the fitness center over the next 10 years?
I think eventually it would be nice if maybe we end up with some TVs downstairs. And maybe some extra shelving in the back corners, just to kind of keep some of the loose stuff on that can be put back on the shelves, and then the floor is kept a little neater.
So TVs for what? Sorry.
TVs just so while people are working out, they can actually just cast their phone to the TV and then play if they just want music going on the TVs or just watch a show while they're working out or something.
There's also some interesting things like on-demand fitness classes that could be run. And it's like getting a big screen TV kind of thing to kind of feature those so that everybody's kind of in a virtual class. So you don't need the fitness trainer on site, but it feels a little bit more like you're in a group class. You could set an actual schedule of, hey, there's going to be a spin class this hour, so that's what's going on, and it's more of an immersive experience than just to go work out on your own experience.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Chris.
Does the fitness center offer Wi-Fi right now? Is there Wi-Fi there?
No, there's
Or
not.
is that a possibility in the future? Because I know a lot of fitness centers have it, and I know cell phone signal being not the greatest in our municipality. Even, like you said, if people want to stream something, or they want to watch something, they want to listen, it just makes their gym experience It's that much more enjoyable.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was good with the TVs. They would have to be, I think, like a smart TV. So that we eventually we could build a route where, you know, it just goes in the members' plan for dollar wise, and we provide the internet down there. So look at the TVs even, because I mean, everything is streamed, so.
Anything else? Anything else you'd like to see over the next 10 years?
I think anything equipment wise, like I said before, like should be, a questionnaire should be sent out to the current membership holders. Because I mean, we can sit back and say what we think the fitness center needs, but if you're not actually a member there, you're not gonna know what it's lacking for your own, like for what you want to do kind of thing.
Well, I
That's true.
think down
Val.
there, sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was gonna say that's true, but you also want to go to the people that aren't members to see why they're not members and what might be lacking and missing, because that's why they're going to train somewhere else if they're training somewhere else, and just want to get that aspect of it input too.
Well, I think it's important that we have a variety of equipment. Like if we lean too much towards weightlifting or too much towards treadmills, we need a variety. It's a small space, and I think we do pretty well down there for the variety. I know I researched what the most popular pieces of gym equipment were, and we have them all. So I will agree. People may want more of certain things, but the space down there is limited.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to keep a variety.
Yeah, I've asked a few people what they would like to see change down there. And everybody was actually really happy with the equipment that we do have because we have such a variety.
Yeah.
And it was just it was actually multiple people that suggested possibly TVs for later in the future. And just, that was it. And just like, I think we just need to, the overall theme, I think, is just updating. It's just getting back to bringing it up to the newer age of style.
Are you talking facility or?
No, just facility in general, just paint and getting rid of the wood downstairs, just stuff like that. Maybe a sound system and actual some speakers in the corners rather than just a couple house speakers stacked up.
I think that's coming.
Okay, any other comments on the fitness center? If not, we will move on to Heritage Park and Outdoor Rink. So what changes would you like to see at the rink building, the outdoor rink, over the next 10 years? I'll start with, I'd like to see the new boards. I'd like to see a hard surface on the ground inside the boards, so it can be utilized with other things in the summer.
I like what they have in Argyle with like the roof over their rink that gives it a little bit more of a destination.
What kind of roof do they have, Chris?
It's an open air roof, so like they just have like it's like a pavilion, only a very large pavilion.
Okay. They did put one in a little community that I have family in the same size as ours. They got their grant. We're getting playground equipment. They're getting a top for their rink, and it's some sort of heavy duty canvas that's guaranteed for 30 years.
Yeah, theirs is a wood with a metal roof, I think.
Okay.
No,
I think that's what Bill Garber Rink has in Calendar.
Yeah, they have a wooden, I think, shingled, isn't it?
part of the issue
I'm not sure.
with calendars is due to the size of which you have to be careful with the wood construction, and it has to do with the fire code, is they have to have a sprinkler system in theirs. So that adds a tremendous cost to have, especially being outdoors. So I know when you're with, because when I was on with Calendar Fire, the chief had mentioned it had something to do with the size of it and how many, the capacity for people, and it being a wood structure, they had to have a sprinkler system with it. So it's you have the added expense of the sprinkler system for an outdoor rink essentially. So I think if we consider a roof, we have to consider keep everything in mind when we're doing it so that we don't end up in a position having to put a sprinkler system in over our ice rink.
So I mean, you construct it out of steel or something to get away from that, but
But I know calendars, I'm pretty sure there was something that it was a grant because it was a wood structure, but then they ended up in the position that now they have to maintain the entire sprinkler system for an outdoor rink.
I'll get more, I can get some more info on the top they're putting on in Kegawong. I've already shared the rink with Will with the aluminum board, the aluminum framing. And it's quite nice. And the way they advertise. So I'll get some more information on that for you. Anything else on what you want to see over the next 10 years?
I think if we're having success in a soccer type league, I think having some sort of actual field installation where it's a little bit more defined, a little bit that way. I always leaned artificial turf, but that's probably not necessarily the way we want to go.
No.
But I like artificial turf because you can put a bubble over it in the winter, right? So you can heat it and have recreation facilities year round. But some sort of system of lining and getting the field marked efficiently, etc.
That makes sense. I think we talked too about perhaps benches for sitting, even though I think probably a lot of people bring their own chairs today.
Yeah, but even benches for the players.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. Anything else over the next 10 years?
We have the room.
Is there any, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe like a beach volleyball kind of court, something else for people to use in the summer, or badminton, I guess. Which I guess badminton would have been if we did the hard surface, but even if we had one, it would like a sand area that you have a beach volleyball net.
Yes, sandy area would be nice for that. Yeah.
The parking lot could maybe use some updating.
Yeah, I think having some sort of parking there expanded if we're bringing all these different facilities and things to it. And then, I mean, like things as simple as like basketball nets, etc. If we're talking about having a hard surface for the hockey arena where you could make a pretty easy court, etc.
Yeah.
What about the building?
The building itself, okay.
I think it'd be nice to make it more aesthetically pleasing, I guess. Like a siding or of some kind, or painting, like just
Exterior upgrading?
yeah, make it look more not like a rink shack.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna start putting more.
Yeah, if we're gonna try and bring people to that area, let's make it look like a little cabin or like a nice building, not just a plywood shack. For lack of a better term.
I mean,
if we didn't do another thing too would be just some pergola or two pergolas out there that are by themselves, just to have some shaded areas. And if we do decide later on down the road for other events that are outdoor purpose, they can be utilized as well. And then also some more lighting for the area.
Okay, anything else? If not, we'll go on to the playground equipment.
Would a
So-
splash pad be at all feasible in that area?
Sorry, what was that?
A splash pad, do we have access to water? Or is it all just through the tank kind of thing? Like for the rain?
Yeah, unfortunately, for our understanding is you have to have potable water
Okay.
and quite a bit of it. So,
Yeah, 'cause I know some places have had them and they've treated coming out of like, I know Santa's Village has when they pull it out of the river. And they treat it somewhat like it's, they'd say don't drink it because it's
yeah,
not safe to drink, but I didn't know if that was something that we would be able to do with access to water from the river or not. But I know a lot of different municipalities have been doing them. Because we have the area for it, like we have a big area, we're gonna put playground equipment if the funding came up and we could get one. But again, water is the number one issue.
Anything else on that?
What about expanding on equipment?
Yeah, I think we should have something for the ice surfacing. Maybe a little easier to have a nicer ice surface.
Yeah, I think it was Councillor Brewer discussed that, or the boards, the concrete surface and.
Well, I mean, just for like, I know,
Maybe the footprint larger, you mean?
not even necessarily making the footprint larger, we're just making it easier to maintain the ice and have nicer ice. Like I know I've seen
Like a
online,
Zamboni?
yeah, like you can get miniature ones.
Yeah, like, yeah,
Because I know I've seen, I think they're about $20,000, something like that, to put on the back of the tractor. But it's something that can actually, like, it gives you a nicer ice surface. And again, if we're trying to draw people there, if you have the nicest ice around, people are more likely to come and use it.
Yeah, and then, yeah, expanding on maybe a larger swing set, depending on which one you went with, either which way. The other one was a smaller swing set. I think maybe a larger one also. And just continuing on with adding on pieces to make the play area larger.
Anything else on playground equipment? Anything else you'd want to see added? Any other comments on that? Okay, let's go on then to Lynx and Wolf Lake beaches. So the following items that have been identified to be corrected within the 2022 budget are a designated parking area for Lynx Beach, lowered speed limits along both beach sides, removal of existing change rooms, washroom facilities, and replaced with porta potty units for ease of cleaning and disinfecting. Parking signage is also required. So what changes would you like to see at these sites over the next 10 years?
so if we could start with Lakes Beach, if that's okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I personally think that Lake Beach and Wolf Lake, I think they should both have new washroom facilities and change rooms and not all in one. Like I understand we're going to the porta potties for this year, but over the next 10 years, maybe go back to an actual building.
No, that's still up for discussion.
Was it?
Yeah.
But going to an actual building, I was thinking, again, something that looks more aesthetically pleasing, something that looks like a little cabinet, a little timber frame. I know I've seen online people advertising the timber frame bunky kind of things. If we could do sort of the bathroom portion in the front and a change room in the back, so at least you have the 4 separate areas instead of just, hey, if you're gonna get changed, you have to go in the bathroom and change there. And even something as simple as adding a sharps container into the bathrooms. I know some people are sort of against the idea and some are for. I don't want to encourage people to be using needles or anything at the beaches, but I mean, something as simple as having a safe place, even if it's somebody who's a diabetic, it just makes it easier if they have somewhere to dispose of their sharps properly, and it makes less chance of them ending up in the sand or in the garbage cans.
Yeah, I think maybe just a few more picnic tables to the area.
So usually both of them have picnic tables, but with COVID in the last couple of years, we weren't able to put them out.
Yeah, I figured so. Just,
So-
I think maybe just a few more than what we usually have, because before it was usually just 2.
Yeah.
Just so there's, I mean, they're both pretty busy beaches and they tend to be utilized.
Small, too.
Yeah.
Anything else for Lynx Beach? Wolf Lake?
I think everything that was said for Link probably goes for Wolf.
Yep.
Okay. So I think we've covered any other comments on either of those beaches. Okay, then we'll move on to Chapman's Landing Dock, the government dock and McFaubie Lake boat ramp. A reserve will be established in the 2022 budget moving forward for an annual contribution. This has not been done historically, so all repairs required will be from grant opportunities or taxation revenue. So Chapman's Landing Dock requires cosmetic repairs and installation of a new safe ladder for public use in 2022. Structural repairs need to be reviewed for completion in 2023 for safety purposes. A new parking area and signage has been identified for the area to assist in the health and safety of all users of the facility. The Maquabi boat ramp is in very poor condition and may be deemed dangerous for use in 2022. We're looking at options to remove the concrete and leave the area naturally, or the eventual purchase of an engineered mat to line the area. There is also an option of using a section of municipal property at a different entrance to Maquabi Lake, providing sufficient parking and access. So what changes to the Maquabi boat launch do you think are most beneficial to the residents and visitors? So council is considering taking the whole dock right out and just leaving the ramp there.
Sorry, where is that?
The Maquabi Lake,
Okay, so the Maquabi Lake's just a boat ramp. So there is no
That's-
dock.
okay. I thought there was a dock that was in bad repair.
No, the ramp's in bad repair.
Okay,
So it's cement slabs and they're all starting to sink and bust and
okay, very good.
So did you say there was a possible new area to choose from?
correct.
If my personal thought, if there was another area to choose that would have actually sufficient parking, I would go that route rather than the route that it is now, because it's, I mean, you launch your boat, there's nowhere to go afterwards.
I don't remember if that's what it was. I think, I understand the idea of creating more parking. But I think that could add a lot of headaches too. Just simply people living on the lake not wanting change. And now all of a sudden, if you create space for 30 people to park their trailers,
Well, yeah,
and I don't know what the expense would be.
yeah, but there would be bylaws in place to.
I think if the boat ramp needs to be replaced or repaired, then that's something we should be forecasting for within the next 10 years, at the very least. Getting the concrete out if it's unsafe.
Okay, is that good? Is that it for Maquabi Lake? If so, we'll move on to the Chapman's Landing Dock. Any ideas on that one? Any changes you want to see? No?
So does everybody know what's going on with Chapman's Landing Dock?
I do not.
I haven't,
So right now, there's a main part of the dock, and off to the left-hand side, there's a lower dock for people with kayaks and canoes and stuff that can climb off. That is in really bad shape right now, and it needs to be removed and redone.
So is that something that's being budgeted to be done this year, or is that?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And then the rest is kind of for the 10-year projection, what we see.
Yeah, would you like to see? Councillor Moore, would that include the government dock at the end of Lake Nipissing Road now too?
At which government dock is that at the end of, like, you talking about Wade's?
Yeah. That would be, we'd start a reserve for that one as well, right?
Yes, we would. because we own all of these docks, so.
No, the municipality owns the dock only,
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct. It was just transferred to us last year, I believe, Liz?
Oh, no, it's been a couple of years.
Oh, okay, sorry, a couple of years
It was
ago.
before COVID because I remember going there. We went, Anthony Rhoda met us down there, so it was before COVID.
That's correct. But it was just all redone.
Yeah.
The whole dock was redone and everything before it was transferred over.
I did a bit of work there for the contractor. It was doing.
Okay, yeah, so we do need some of the some structural work done on that dock also. And Will, where is the parking lot going to be located for Chapman's Landing?
Chapman's Landing, we're looking at possibly making it angle parking on the right-hand side. Putting a
Okay,
culvert in,
Yeah,
it would be up against the bank.
yeah, I know what you mean. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Any more questions on Chapman's Landing? Or ideas?
I guess it was-
Okay, I think that's everything for that then. We will move on to new business. The fitness center survey, is that what we just went through, Will, or did you have something else?
nope, I was just gonna let everybody know that we've been doing some inquiring, talking to some other people, but I believe it was Chris's idea of asking non-members as well. So I made a note of that.
Okay, bottle drive update.
You talk about the last collection we had done? The big ones? Yes. We haven't, I checked in on the weekend and it's gonna be due probably next weekend. I'm probably gonna swing in and collect from the 654 landfill site. And then we'll check over at the other one as well and probably collect it as well.
Okay, now we did talk about changing out the buildings, right, Will?
That's correct. And I believe it's in the budget for the 2022 for approval by council.
And what were we going to use those other buildings for? Again, I can't remember.
They'll be moved over to the two of the cemeteries
That's right. Okay.
where
Okay.
there's not as much wind and stuff. The buildings are still good, but with the winds and stuff there, they're not holding up.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
Um,
Okay, when are we going to have our next meeting?
What do we have you do today?
Mm,
So you were on detailing today all day.
So the Easter closes April 1st, which is a Friday,
Okay,
and the event is on the 16th.
So if we go to 4th,
so we should go the 4th then, right?
yeah.
Okay, April 4th, 7 PM again. Is everybody good with that?
And we'll
Yep.
we'll do Zoom and in person to
Okay,
help everybody.
all right. Okay, I guess that's it. Do we have a mover and a seconder to adjourn?
Ron moves.
Kathy will second.
Ron and Kathy, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Well, that's everything then. Thanks for attending, and I'll say good night to all.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.